What are we doing here in a dark and crazy room? Do you know that Petula Clark song? That was her big comeback. She sang it on the Hudson Brothers show. One of them was the father of Kate Hudson, the one who partnered with Goldie Hawn before she met, what's his name? Okay, so do you remember that time that there was a giant snowstorm in Atlanta and everything shut down and horrible things happened to people and dramatic things happened to people and shocking things? Like, for instance, a woman gave birth in her car. I was in Atlanta when that happened. Here's how I knew there was a problem. I looked out of my window because I heard a lot of noise, and there was a line of cars. Midday. It was rare that I would see a line of cars outside my building. And when that happened, I knew something serious had occurred. Like, say, I-85 had caught fire and fallen down. This was before that. This was another giant clustered manifestation of trickery. I can't think of a word that's G-rated. So I thought, something's happening. And I looked out and I realized it was snowing and all of these cars were on the street and they were clearly taking a shortcut to avoid heavier traffic on a crosstown street. And I thought, this is not going to go well if we're already having this when it's still light out. And the exhaust from the cars is going to be reheating all of the snow, and ice is going to form, and then they're going to keep reheating and freezing and reheating and freezing. And I thought, this is going to be bad. And it was. But before that happened, I went around the corner to this place I loved called Tap, that no longer exists. It had beers of the world, and most people went there to drink, but I went there for the food. It was great. They made a really good hamburger. I showed up. There were two people on the floor. One was the bartender, one was a server, and then we had the GM. So I think I ordered a dozen oysters because I thought, you know what? It's an ice storm. I'm going to be indoors a while. Let's have something savory and enjoyable, something salty and enjoyable, something fatty. I had it all. And so my server, whom I really liked, asked, would you like the oysters first and then the cheeseburger next? And I said, I do what you need to do. Like, you're waiting on 40 covers right now. Just do what you need to do. She was fine, didn't blink, brought me my food. I felt warm and toasty. By the end of the evening, I was running food for them, which is probably illegal, but whatever. They're not in business anymore. What are you going to do, sue them? And I felt like I was helping everybody, and I felt so buoyant. And I walked across the street easily, despite the potential for slipping, because no one was out. And I saw a woman around the corner from where I lived, and I could hear that horrible sound of rubber on ice. And I knew that she needed help. And so I came maybe 10 feet away, because, it's dark, and she's a little bit, I don't know. She was fine, but I thought if I were in that situation, I'd be kind of worked up. And I asked if she needed help, and she said, yes, I can't get off of this. I said, I understand. I'll help you if you do what I just follow me. You're not going to believe it. It's going to sound counterintuitive. So I got her to move her rear wheels to where they could get more traction. I said, okay, great. Now I'm going to stand behind you and you get yourself out of this. So I slipped a little bit as I pushed, got her set, and she, when I came up to her window, turned to me and said, thank you so much. I wish that I could buy you a beer or something. She was in front of the Christian Science Church, so I don't think she had been there, or if she was definitely not following the principles of Mary Baker Eddy's tradition. So I said, no, don't worry. I'm fine. I'm headed home. And I said, good luck to you. Well, as it turns out, I basically was pushing her into a giant cesspool of humanity. Who knows when she got home? I didn't find out until the next day, but I went to bed, sated, and a little smug. and warm and happy, filled with brewery food and the sense that I had done a good deed.